crypto, stacking and make it flip, yo. Supplementing the income, did I mention that it's lit, yo? Spitting the truth out, struggle to pick the new route. Tired of living from paycheck to paying bills where I lose out. So I'm investing no time for the second guessing. Diversifying my cash can leave all my eggs in one basket, I figure. So that's it, yo. Flipping, rapping the crypto, income producing admin. Did I mention that it's lit, yo? I'm on the come up, these brothers getting they ones up, wanna run with us because we show a secure way to level up. I'm on that double dutch, it's a quick trip, NFT flip, check the numbers, I don't need friends. My payment system is so amazing, it came encrypted. It's privacy and security, that's what you were missing. Listen, this ain't no Wi-Fi, it's DeFi, sending currency on the reply. You wanna rewind this, to get a better understanding. Know that welcome was the plan and taking steps to money management. That's how we handle it from peer to peer in the clear. So anything weird couldn't interfere here.
Alright, y'all already know what time it is. This is another wonderful episode of Rapping Crypto on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. We got our special guest in the building, Daniel, DRAYDEL. So,
what's going on, guys? What's happening? Thank you guys for having me.
Cool. Hey, man, we appreciate you coming, man. We appreciate you, especially, yes, man.
I'm super excited. We were talking before the show just started, got live, but we are gonna.
Well,
man. See, hey, man, look, hey, YouTube.
Stop playing.
Facebook, y'all don't start now.
Hey, man, don't be messing with me, man. Don't be messing with me today.
Look, here we go. I wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi. All right, we good, though.
All right.
Okay, let me start out of this, man. I'm your main man, HUTCH, aka HD, blockchain in the building with my brother LJ. And y'all already know who made his big return, man. Mario Ponju Nation is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna throw it over to LJ. Go ahead, bro.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna keep it brief, short, and to the point. Y'all already know what time it is. It's Wednesday, 9 p.m. Another episode of Rapping Crypto coming live to y'all. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, we got our special guest Daniel in the building. Big shouts out to Daniel. If y'all don't know who Daniel is and you're not familiar, I guarantee you before the end of this show, you're gonna get a great understanding of this gentleman. But also, if you don't know about booming yet, oh man, it's time to get yourself indulged in understanding what's going on. So without further ado, before we jump over to Daniel, like brother HD said, making his return this evening to the show, brother Mario, man, what's up, bro? How you been, bro?
What's going on, man? Brother LJ, brother D. We got Daniel, SADO. Peace to everybody watching tonight. This is your brother Mario Ponju Nation, straight out of Georgia. We are back in here with a brand new show of rap and crypto. Let's hop right into it.
Let's get it.
Let's go. All right, I'm gonna kick off like this, man. Tell us about yourself, Daniel. Who are you, man? Let people know what's up with you.
Man, so my real name is Daniel. My Hebrew name is Shmuel, but everybody calls me DRAYDEL. DRAYDEL, but I pronounce it DRAYDEL, but DRAYDEL, doesn't matter. Basically, I'm the Dr. Dre, but better and Jewish. No, I'm just playing. So I started off as a DJ. Got my first pair of turntables when I was like 11, and I had to get a DJ name. I couldn't be DJ Daniel, so I was like, Mom, I gotta pick a DJ name, and she's like, what about DRAYDEL? And I was like, Mom, that's the stupidest name I've ever heard in my whole life, and I just walked away. And she was like, why don't you be DJ Menorah, DJ Latka? You know what I'm saying? Like both two very Jewish things. And but the next day I started asking my friends, and they were like, either they were saying, what's a dreidel? Or that's cool because dreidels spin. It's like a little top that you play,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I spin records. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. But then I also liked anybody that was nicknamed Dre, Andre 3000, Dr. Dre, my best friend Andre, shout out to Andre, anybody named Dre was dope. So I was like, all right, fuck it, DRAYDEL. So it just stuck, and it's been probably, 20, 22 years, with that nickname. Then a year after that, I got into producing, then I got into engineering. Then it's just been, the next thing ever since. It's like FSU, I got signed to T-Pain's DJ at the time for some rap battle up in Tallahassee. And that kind of gave me the confidence to really just do music. So moved back. So I dropped out. I was in mechanical engineering, dropped out of school, and just started doing music full time. And it's just been nonstop ever since. The craziest ups and downs, highs and lows, just entrepreneur to the core. Blood, sweat, and tears with the shit. Just really, really passionate about it, and driven to just connect the people, spread the light, and just make good music. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's awesome. Listen, to go from point A to point B, and now here you are, man. Listen, that's great.
It's been so crazy, bro. Like living out of cars, living at my parents' house. You know what I'm saying? Moving, living in girls' houses, just anything and everything to get it. Like you have one goal, and that's the goal. There is no other option. And that's one thing that I tell people. It's like, if you have a dream and you have something that you want to get, you get it. It's not like, well, I'm going to do this and this is going to be like, my backup plan in case this doesn't happen or that doesn't happen. Like, no, I say, fuck plan B. It is only plan A. And you go full force into plan A. It's either you succeed with plan A or you die. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mentality that people have to be successful. And if you don't have that mentality, you're just asking for failure, and you're asking for life to take you over. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be people that surpass you and shut you down, but you just have to prevail. You have to believe, you know what I'm saying? And just do it, and that's what it's all about, really, when it comes down to it.
True facts.
Man, so I'm gonna ask the question what most people are here for. What is booming, man? Give us the details on booming, man.
So, booming is an audio ecosystem, and it is built on a new type of protocol that's called the proof of sound. So you have proof of work, you have proof of stake, you have proof of attendance, the POAPs, you got proof of, a proof of view. There's tons of proofs. Well, ours is built on proof of sound. And the closest thing that I can compare it to is it's like Shazam. It has nothing to do with Shazam. Completely two different things. But this allows you to, when you Shazam something, you're getting like the lyrics, maybe the concerts, where they're located, and like the artist in the song name. But with Boomin', you're able to take anything that you want and put it inside of your music or of your audio. It doesn't have to be music. So as an artist, you can put concert tickets inside of your new single, so that when people boom your song, once the verification of the proof of sound happens, then it asks you if you want to accept or deny. It's kind of like when you want to go mint an NFT. I know I said the word NFT, but we'll talk about it. But if you want to go mint a collectible, you have to go to the browser, you have to attach your wallet, and you have to sign the hash, and you have to say either accept or reject. So after you connect with that audio, with that creator, it's going to ask you to either accept or reject. So if you accept it, whatever's inside that audio that the creator wants to give you is automatically minted on whatever chain that they want and sent directly to you. So, for example, and we'll talk about it, but I built a DJ car out of 1994 Chrysler LeBaron. I used to go to school for mechanical engineering, like I said before. And so I built this car, took out the back seat, put turntables in it, 30,000 watt sound system, like 40 speakers. I got my system, my mixer. I have an 8-channel mixer, EQs, compressors, noise suppressors, wireless microphones. I mean, we're talking the whole thing. And so we're DJing outside of a club. And inside my set, if you boomed my set, you could get VIP tickets to go to the club the next day and get, bottle service and whatever you want. So, I mean, we're talking like this is happening on the sidewalk of a club in downtown Miami. Like, this is in real life type stuff. And so this is just one use case that you can do. But, you could be a professor at university. You could put your study guide of the test of whatever you're giving inside of the lecture that you're giving. And you can also take attendance because everything's on blockchain. So you can say who was there at that time in that location, and it's all stamped on chain. So you can say, oh, this wallet was here, this wallet was not here. So if anybody wants to send, the study guide to somebody else, you can see that everything is on chain. So it's an audio agnostic protocol. So any kind of audio, and you can put anything you want inside of that audio. So when I explain to people who don't understand blockchain or anything like that, I would compare it more to like email. You know, you can send an email, you could put an attachment in the email. You know, you can send whatever you want in the email. Kind of the same thing, but you're connecting directly with that creator through their audio. So whatever they want to give you through that audio.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the basic terms.
Like, you don't realize how much power that is just
Mhm.
one application.
Yeah,
Like, you just took the game up to a whole new level of everything, even for the artists. Like, check this out, artists. They no more, oh, we're gonna say, I'm gonna take this album, I'm gonna take this from your album, and I'm not gonna give you credit for it no more. No, no, no. The blockchain does all that for you. It's already on the blockchain. And when you put that booming app to it, you get that collectible from that album too. Crazy.
Oh yeah, and this is just the beginning. I mean, we have a 60-page patent on it, so it's a very, very long thing. We're talking like 20 years in the making. So this is just like the front-facing initial like foundation to kind of start this. But where this is gonna go is it's gonna be crazy. You know, I'm not gonna say too much, but you know, right now it's just kind of like bringing this new type of technology and interaction to the forefront. You know, and same thing what you guys are doing, which is why I loved, you know, when you guys reached out and we decided that we were going to do this. You guys are educating the people about blockchain and why it's so important. And so now it's all about education right now. It's just about explaining why this is important and what this can do for your future, whether you're in blockchain or healthcare or, you know, at the grocery store. It doesn't matter. It's just blockchain is here to stay. And, you know, people feel some kind of way about NFT, the word NFT. So we've kind of like started straying away from the word NFT. It's like when you want to have a conversation about God, you know, people, they're like, oh, God, like God, I don't believe in God. They're like, oh, yeah, the same God that you don't believe in, I don't believe in either. So I guess we're both atheists. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so when it comes down to it, it's not about God. It's about the definition. It's about the perspective that people are putting on the word. And so you're talking about an energy that's higher than yourself. You're not talking about an old dude with a beard in the sky, you know, granting wishes like he's Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking something that is bigger than anybody, whether you call it the universe or not. So, you know, perspective is a huge thing. And, you know, when it comes to education and talking about things, it's all about perspective. So shout out to you guys.
Man, definitely appreciate it, man. Like I tell LJ and Mario, man, we try to be the quote unquote the Breakfast Club of the blockchain. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that. Yo, what's good? Shout out Breakfast Club. Let's go. Hey.
Sure.
I'm gonna throw it to LJ, man. Go ahead. I know you got some questions ready to ramble off on them, man.
I mean, so listen, to be honest with you, I think one of the biggest things I want to do, because I know artists will be able to go back and look at this. So anybody who might not be watching, I just want to go ahead and make sure I jump straight into what does it look like for an onboarding process for artists who might want to be able to use Boomin'.
So right now the onboarding process, because this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but it's all brand new and the protocol is decentralized, but right now we control it, right? And I'll be completely straight up. You know, I'm not trying to beat around the bush or lie to you guys, because of specifics, and there's certain standards in the music industry that need to remain the same, right? Because it can't be like, you know, fuck the system, fuck the industry, and you're gonna do your own thing. That's not going to work. You have to be able to integrate what was already done and what's already successful with what's happening and what's kind of, you know, going to be coming in the future. So you kind of have to have a certain standard and certain metadata standards in order to like kind of integrate slowly into what's already happening. And nobody knows about that. That's a very, very, you know, I mean, I've known people in the music industry for 30 years and they have no idea what I'm talking about. So there's certain standards that need to be met. And the only way that that's going to be happening is if it's controlled and set up in a certain way for that to be built upon. So because we're so new right now, that is what's happening. We're being, you know, built upon this standard right now, but on the blockchain side. When it gets to a certain level, I think it's called like, you know, maximum threshold velocity or some shit. Like then eventually it's going to be completely decentralized, and then you know, it'll be the people, and the people are going to make the choices. But right now, you download the app. It's on the App Store, both on Apple and Android. You sign in just like your email, like with Instagram or something like that. And then they send an email link to your email. you say, this is me, I approve this device. Then you open the app again, you create your passcode, and that's it. You're logged in. So you can put like different information, like, you know, what kind of stuff you like, you know, what you're going to be using Boomin for, if it's going to be just music or maybe podcasts, you like podcasts, maybe you're in the metaverse, maybe you like audiobooks. Depending on whatever kind of industries you're going to use it in, you can select different categories. You know, it doesn't limit yourself in any way. You could just literally not put anything if you want. And then it'll bring you to a homepage. And at the homepage, you're able to search different artists. So if you already have an artist that you have in mind, you can search their name. But if you want to find new artists, you can then put in different categories. So if you know that they're a producer and you want to find beats, so you can go on and find different producers. And there's different, you know, it's just like scrolling through like iTunes. You have just different songs, different events, different drops that we call them. And then if you like one of them or you want to find them, it has a link to where you can go and find them. And then you just press on the button. And you can automatically interact with that audio. You obviously have to be listening to it, but you know, maybe after this recording we can kind of show you know, a little snippet or something like that. I can do like a screen recording, but you know, on our YouTube we have a bunch of walkthrough tutorials of how to create a profile, how to create a drop, and how to boom as a listener. But it's very, very simple. It's literally just one button. So you log on with your email, and as soon as you log on, you press the main button at the bottom, and you just boom something like you would Shazam, you know, any sort of song. But you know, the difference between us and Shazam is that when an artist uploads something to DistroKid or CD Baby or TuneCore, all the distribution platforms, they're automatically opting in to what is known as a blanket license on Shazam. So anything that you upload through distribution and publishing is automatically going to be like Shazamable or whatever, right? But for this, it's very easy to just scrape the blockchain and just take everybody's music and put all people on Boomin. But we're not about using or leveraging other people's IP and their creative for our own purpose. So it's up to them to want to opt into Boomin versus contacting us to opt out of Boomin. So if you want to use Boomin, you have to opt in. So this is not just for everybody all the time. This is somebody, you know, that they want to interact and they want to offer this deeper connection with their fans, then they can take that step towards that. But if they don't, if you try to boom something, it's not going to work, you know?
That's dope. So I guess from the monetary side of things, when we're talking about placing, so I guess that I like that 5th grade definition that you gave. So if we're talking email terms of things, and somebody's placing an attachment within that email or placing an attachment within whatever audio file that they have on Boomin, is there monetization that's available for them? So let's just say, for instance, like you said, let's say somebody does a podcast episode and they're just like, okay, well, you can get a ticket to our metaverse event that's coming up by listening to this podcast episode here on Boomin. They listen to it and then they get to interact with, like you said, whatever the attachment is. As far as monetization is concerned, is that available? And what would that look like for somebody who's interested?
So this is the first version of Boomin. There, you know, is a lot to be added as far as features. So for right now, us as Boomin as a company, we're paying for everything, right? So currently it's more like a just focused on like, you know, sign up to my newsletter, where you say like, oh, send them an email, or you send them your link to your website, and then they can sign up with their email and you collect their email addresses. So this is kind of like that right now in the first stages, where if you were interact with any of my content, you collect their wallet address, and then you can like target and retarget marketing campaign to them because you know that that's your targeted audience. So as far as monetary right now, that ability isn't there. But in the next update, if we're using the same concept as email, it's as if someone sent you an email, right? Your favorite artist literally DM'd you personally, and you got the DM, it popped up, you're like, damn, they DM'd me, that's crazy. You click open, but before you can actually get what's in that email, you have to pay for it.
Makes sense.
And so if that artist wants to say, yeah, you can get this concert ticket, but it's going to cost you $50. So as soon as you click the email, right, conceptually, allegorically, you press the email, and then it pops up with what it is, and then you click yes, and then it immediately comes up with your Apple Pay, and you have to buy it. And so that would allow you to then monetize it. That's one way. And then the second way is through royalties. So there's and again, this is in the upcoming updates. Everything is already built, by the way. This is not something that we're thinking about doing, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, this is already built. It's already in the patent. This is already good to go on the back end. But we're just slowly releasing things. I think it's going to be very complex for people, especially if there's just too much going on. Just like, wait, it's this, then that, then so much going on. So we're just going to keep it very simple and start releasing things as it goes. But eventually, you'll be able to enable what's going to be called the royalty. I forgot the name, but basically, like, it's going to be royalty enabled, which in order to actually get a stream for royalty, you have to listen to a song for at least 30 seconds, right? That's the key number, 30 seconds. Once you listen to a song for 30 seconds, that's technically counted as a royalty, a performance royalty, and then you'll be able to get paid from that. And so if you have a song that you released, you can say that you want it to be royalty enabled, select that, and so then somebody has to boom a song for at least 30 seconds for them to receive something. So not only are you going to be able to charge them on whatever you're going to be providing them, but you're also going to be getting paid on the royalty because you're forcing them, or not forcing them, incentivizing them to listen for 30 seconds. So then you get the royalty on the back end as well. So right now there's two.
That's dope. That's dope. So as far as, I guess, wallet integrations, when we start talking about decentralized wallets like MetaMask, for example, are those features available currently, or is that something else that is in the works for the future?
Yeah, so technically the wallet itself is the app itself, Boomin, is a wallet. So we're actually dubbing itself as an audio wallet. We're the first of its kind, and there are a couple of people who've copied the idea, and they're starting to kind of build on that. But I mean, that's what we want. We want people to start making more audio wallets. We want to, it's, you know, this is all for the culture. This is not for us. This is for the people. This is for the society. This is for everybody. Right. So we're trying to push this movement of audio wallets, but it is a wallet. And, oh man, I wish I can show you guys. But basically, when you log on to Boomin, the homepage is there. But then when you click the second tab, that's your wallet, right? So it's considered like Eventbrite mixed with MetaMask, mixed with like a Shazam kind of thing. And so when you actually interact with any sort of audio and you mint something, it's sent directly to you, but it's actually sent to your wallet. So you can hold coins, you can hold collectibles, you can hold anything and everything that you want. And then if you decide that you don't want to use Boomin anymore, you can export it if you want, and then bring it over to MetaMask or vice versa. And that's coming in the next updates as well. So right now it's just proprietary. But we do have the ability on the back end to be able to export any sort of private keys or anything like that. But we just have to make that publicly available for everybody. But that's definitely coming for sure. Dope.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That is dope. Mario, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get in there because y'all already know. Questions for days. Go ahead, Mario.
Well, Mr. Daniel, you pretty much answered a few questions that I had. So I just got one question for you. Throughout your the whole time you've been coming up with this project, when you first started, what was the hardest obstacle that you had to endure?
The hardest obstacle, I think, would be having the right people surrounding you. I think that's a very, very important thing. I think it's overlooked. I think people are not very aware of energies. I think that people either are on the left or the right. Not saying like liberal or conservative, like, no, fuck all that. I don't like politics. But like left or right being like you either trust everybody and you're just like open and doing this with everyone and you love everybody, or you don't trust nobody, fuck everyone, and you're by yourself. And either or is not good. And so you have to definitely have this balance in the middle. And you have to be very, very aware of your surroundings and how people act. You know, not having yes men around you, not having people who, are the complete opposite and disagree with everything that you say. We had some people at the beginning who, luckily we signed very intense contracts with that eventually came out and said that, you have to, like, they held the whole shit ransom and they were saying, like, give us 50% of the company or we're going to steal it. And I'm like, but you, like, I paid you. Like, you're going to tell me that you own it? Like, is your name on the patent? Is your name on any of this? Like, no, this is booming. Are you booming? No. Everybody is booming. So how could you say that you own it? So we literally just dropped them, fired them, sent them a cease and desist, and we moved on. You know what I'm saying? But like the whole thing is like having the right people around you who, you know, it's not about the greed. It's not about the money. It's about what you're creating for the world. I mean, we're at a point where everything is pivoting, and it's not about the individual anymore. It's about the everybody. It's about the world. Like, we are all one. This is not, you know, us versus everybody else. Like, this is everybody coming together. And there's certain entities that want to combat that. And that's what we're fighting against. It's like us versus them. Like, you know, like DJ Khaled, like, they don't want to see you win. Like, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about they. And you have to have the right people around to know the difference between who they are and who, you know, we are. And so having that you know, that awareness is a very, very special thing. Because then you can come and it's starting to come and be like Silicon Valley on HBO, like that show Silicon Valley, where you start having these crazy drama things. It starts becoming like a fucking reality TV show, bro. Like, I don't do the bullshit, bro. Like, if that shit starts happening, like, we're cut, like, next person. Like, that's not facilitating love. That's not facilitating growth or light or any of that. Like, that's about fear mentality. That's about scared mentality. Like, you know, you're afraid that you're not gonna get this, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really truly believe in the essence of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and it's not because of the money, the money's gonna come. That's not a thing. But when you have these money hungry people that start fucking up the vibe, then you really gotta, you know, you have to check yourself. And that even comes in with you know, smart money versus dumb money, being like, you know, raising money from capital investors, you know, VCs, versus, you know, people who actually have connections and who want to help you, who are genuine about helping you, versus them just saying they want to help you, or that they saying that they know these amount of people, but they don't got it like that. So you have to really just like do your research, do your due diligence, and make sure that the people that you're surrounding yourself with are actually genuine, real people. Because if not, it's going to come and bite you in the ass later, and it's going to be a lot of money on your ass. Awesome. I think that's the main thing. I mean, also, lots of failures. You have to fail and fail quick. I think that's another thing. Like, people are afraid to fail. Like, oh, it has to be perfect. Like, oh, I'm not going to release this yet, or I'm not going to do this yet because this isn't ready, or I want to do it like this. Like, no, fuck all that. You have to just do it and then kind of like fix it along the way. But it's like, if an opportunity comes and someone presents this opportunity for you, you know, and I'll kind of give you a backstory. If they give you an opportunity, even if you can't even do that opportunity, say yes and then figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so God bless. I was having.
I think we have a little technical difficulties. Man,
I was hoping it was me that froze.
And I was given the opportunity to put me into the same.
Oh, there it is. I think he's
Coach, man, they be hating, man. They be hating.
They do. They do. He's on the roll too.
Because I was about to say some shit. No, but shout out to Brad and Sandra. They are two incredible people. They put me in a position to be able to work with Scott Storch. And in order for me to work with Scott Storch, he was looking for an engineer, an audio engineer. I was not an audio engineer. I didn't consider myself an engineer. But you're like, you know, Scott's like, I need an engineer. I'm like, I'm an engineer. What do you need? I can do it. Well, you know, I'm like, I'm geeked. I'm gassed. I'm like, yeah, I could do it. Definitely.
Oh man, they want to hate tonight, man. So we already know what's going on. So hey, shout out to Google, shout out to
YouTube. Real, man.
So basically, the opportunity came, and you know, I just knew so much about music and audio that I said I was an audio engineer. I was not an audio engineer, and then I just figured it out on the way. So it's just like when opportunity presents itself, you just have to say yes. Whatever it is, if that's something that fits your goal and aligns with you and your vision, as far as energy and end goal, just say yes. Can you do it? I don't know. How do you do it? I don't know. Like, you just figure it out. Like, just as long as you have the good intentions, you'll figure it out along the way. And that's, I think that's another key point too.
That's dope. That's dope. So, I mean, you dropped a big name there. I know HD always loves to ask a lot of our guests, especially those in the music industry, this question. So, I guess for the people who likes the glitz and glamour, I know, sometimes you got NDAs and things of that nature, but if you don't mind sharing, who are some of the major names that you've actually gotten the opportunity to work with?
So, obviously Scott, Chris Brown, Rick Ross, Mario, Rock Nation, NFL, Discovery Channel, Carfax. I mean, both commercial and non-commercial. We worked with Bang Energy. We did a bunch of their jingles. Tory Lanez. I was in the studio with Usher. Skrillex, WizKid. I mean, nothing ever actually like developed from a lot of them, but just being in the room with them. Shout out to R. Kelly. I won't be left or right, but shout out to R. Kelly. I mean, regardless, I grew up on man's music, is super talented, but just a lot of greats. Just being in the same room with them, by God's grace, just very, very quiet, just learning, taking notes, and being very humble and very just go-getter, bro. Just, I was the one running the session, so we're talking like 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. Everyone's asleep, smoking, just knocked out, passed out. It's me and the artist. So it's just like, you got to be on point. Like, it's not, you have to just know what what you can do, what you cannot do, what your vices are, what your faults are. You just have to know yourself. I mean, Drake said the best, you got to know yourself, period. You got to know what your triggers are. You got to know how you respond to people, what, how emotionally stable you are. I mean, there's a lot on the line that people don't even consider. They're just like, oh, I'm trying to get my beat to X person, or I'm trying to just do this, do that. Like, at the end of the day, the music doesn't really matter. It's about the connections, about the energy. It's about the light that you bring towards, just the entire relationships in general. I mean, when it comes down to it, the music industry is about relationships, period. So it's about how you treat those relationships, and about how you cultivate those relationships, and about how you add to those relationships. If you come into these relationships looking to just take, like, oh, listen to my beat, listen to this, spam on YouTube, spam on emails, like, yeah, okay, it'll get you to some point, but at the end of the day, you're just that dude, just like, begging for money on the corner of the street type shit. Like, you really got to like be in the grits, in the mud, just like getting it, like not even talking about how you make beats, but just, what can I do for you? How can I help you? What, how could I provide value? Like, the first thing you should do is like, how can I help? That's the first thing. Like, you should be not talking about anything that you're doing. How can I help you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and people, they're very selfish, so they don't see that. And then they complain about how hard the music industry is and this and that. But really, they're just upset because they're not getting their own self-indulgences fulfilled. So it's like, it's much bigger than that, and I think that it's about cultivating relationships and really just adding value.
So piggyback on that, what would you say was the most inspirational or most impactful experience you had, and who was it with?
I got a couple of them.
Okay.
If I was working with Scott, he was so on point with it. I mean, I'm talking natural shit. I mean, he learned from Dr. Dre, who learned from Quincy Jones, who learned from the best of the best, right? Mm-hmm. If I fucked up, I'm talking like, he would play a little note on the key. Like, I don't even remember. Do. He's like, I don't know what he say. Get your shit together. I'm like, damn. Like, you just call your ass out. Like, get your shit together. Yeah. Get it together. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm like, damn. Like, that's how I gotta get talked to. Like, if I'm looking in the mirror, I'm looking like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get your shit together. Like, get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? But if I talk like that to other people, they might start crying. They might, feel a certain kind of way. But this is just for me and how I like getting talked to, just to get my shit back. So he would just, every time I fuck up, play the dim, dim, bam, 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 bam. He wouldn't even say the fucking words anymore, bro. He would just be like, bow, 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 bow. And I look at him, he'd be like, like, get your shit together, bro. What the fuck are you doing? So that just got me to be like very, very quick. So that was something that made me realize a lot of things. Mario was another one. He's an amazing songwriter, amazing artist, amazing singer. I mean, I thought I was quick when it comes to just recording people, and you know, he made me just step my game up like crazy with just like cutting records. Oh, you know, we signed Mario to a 1 album deal that actually fell through because of his manager is a fucking fucktard, which is a whole other situation I won't speak on. But the album got shelved. It's like 15 records that will never see the light of day. And but before that, we were just working on all these records, and we would be in the studio every single day for 14, 15, 18 hours a day and nonstop. And he's a beast. I mean, you know, back to back again. And like, it got to the point where as soon as he would stop singing, I got so quick that he would stop singing in the middle of a line, and I would automatically be recording the next line. Like, all right, I already know, but saving everything. So he just made me a beast when it comes to recording this line after line after line. Like, that man just gifted from God, for sure. Those are two that definitely just made me just get my shit together for real. Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing the LJ Mario.
Yeah, bro, do it for sure.
He gonna be tearing me up. He gonna be tearing me up. I'm telling you. I make a mistake on the trading chart. I'm gonna be like, man.
So every time I hear that, I'm like, someone's fucking up, bro. Someone's fucking up.
That's bro.
Oh,
So,
man,
I know we was talking backstage. I definitely want to talk to you about the question I asked you was basically about the whole "I'm sorry" with Justin Bieber and Rick Ross. Can you give us a little bit of details about that?
Yeah, so that's this record that's behind me, and so there's 2 records, and they're both named Sorry. One is with Chris Brown and Rick Ross, which is this one, and then there's a record with Justin Bieber, which is a huge record. I mean, both are really big, but the Justin Bieber record is ginormous.
Right.
And so we came out with the record first. I just want to point that out. It was us. We came out with it first. We published it first. It was our copyright first. I just want to say that. You know, shout out to Justin, though. And so we came out with the record, and you know, it's getting plays, and we're just, you know, I'm on the radio. I'm like driving to the studio. All of a sudden, the record comes on the radio. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. What? Like, that was the first time that ever happened. God bless, bro. And all of a sudden, like, I'm talking like 8 or 9 days after this record was dropped, Justin drops his record called Sorry. And we're like,
What?
something, nah, this doesn't make sense. Like, number one, you're talking about SEO competing with Justin Bieber. I mean, you're not ranking with Justin Bieber. Go ahead, type in Sorry, you know, music song. Justin is here, and you know, Rick Ross is underneath him. No, you know, no diss to Rick at all, but Justin is huge. And so he came out with that record, and we all look at each other like, we definitely inspired that. I mean, like, there's no way that was not from us. But you know, we come to find out it wasn't, had nothing to do with us. It just so happened that we were just on that wavelength. We were just, you know, vibrating at that level that, you know, this is what the world, you know, wanted, I guess. And I guess maybe everybody was just feeling apologetic at the time. I mean, you know, I can't really explain how that happened. I mean, there is no connection with the publishing on the back end. I mean, you know, maybe, you know, friends with, you know, Scooter or something like that. But like, when it came down to it, no one really knew about the record. The way that the record came about was very, very random. You know, like we cut the hook with Chris, you know, I would say 8 months before Ross was even on it. And after we signed Mario, we wanted to trade, right? So Scott's all about relationships, and that's what taught me about relationships. It's not about just spending bread and sending this dude 20 stacks, sending this dude 50 stacks. Let me get a cut on this. No, like, it's about your relationships and the rapport that you have with people. So what we did, or what he did, was when we signed Mario, we wanted to come out with this hit single, and you could look it up. It's called Forever. It never really made it out there because his manager is a fucktard. And and so it's called Forever. So look up Mario Forever featuring Rick Ross, right? So that verse that's on Mario's record, Forever, that was a trade for Ross for him to get that Chris hook for Sorry. So we traded him that record for him to cut a verse on Mario's shit so that we can release him and push the whole album, which never even happened. But you know, I mean, it came out to be a great thing because then the you know, the whole album went gold, and the you know, the song went gold, and it kind of just happened organically. But that was all just a bunch of trades and you know, off the muscle with rapport that, you know, was just from built years and years of good relationships, you know.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that is dope, man. HD, man, what we got? Because I know we got to watch the time, but
we at the top of we want at the top of the hour. But
I was about to say, now we got a little bit of time, man. We still got a little bit of time.
We do. So what? My last question is, what is your favorite blockchain? Or what is your favorite cryptocurrency?
So I am a lover of Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is the top of the top. But if we're talking about like altcoins, Polygon I think is going to be something to really watch out for. Not financial advice by any means, but just as far as the security, the quickness, the cost, the transparency. I mean, everything as far as how easy it is. I think Polygon's where it's at. There is a gem, and I don't even know if I should say it on here, bro, but I'm gonna do it. But it's called LTO. Okay, LTO. Lettuce, tomato, onions. LTO. I don't remember what it stands for, but that is one of the biggest sleeping giants that, I mean, I heard about Chainlink when it was like 17 cents and then it hit like $30. Like this is that. It's already working with IBM. It's already has contracts with the government. And we're not talking about the United States government. We're talking about the world government, which is the United Nations.
Right.
So there's a contract with the United Nations. They're already using it in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Iran. And they have a lot of shit under the hood that they're actually doing. Like, it's not like one of those hype coins where they're just like, you know, oh, you know, hype, this does this, or we're gonna do this, or we're giving this amount to charity, and we're saving dogs and you know, feeding homeless people. Like, no. We're talking like this is actually real world use case material. Like, you know, helping fraudulent documents with the IRS. Not, they don't work with the IRS, but helping fraudulent documents. So if anybody changes just one pixel on any document, it triggers the fraudulent like detector to go off. It's with the Airbus. Airbus is another one. The Airspace Defense Force is another one. I mean, like, they're linked in, and I'm talking sleeping giant. And it's super cheap right now. But I think that's going to be a huge one that people are going to be like, oh, this is the next thing. Like, it's going to be the next Shiba Inu type shit. But it's actually going to have real world use case. And it's amazing. Just do your own research for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's what I was saying, that it reminds me a lot of understanding like projects like VeChain and Zeal, because a lot of those projects, people are just like, oh, you know, just another altcoin. It's just like, nah, you have to do a real deep dive on a lot of these altcoins, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, when regulation runs through, a lot of these altcoins are going to get washed out. Not the ones who have partnerships with major companies, because that's not
sure.
Best interest, and these folks are not going to let these companies go under, because these brands might not only just operate in the United States, but these are worldwide things. So a lot of these things being in those places like that. I mean, we always talk about Tyson Chicken, Walmart's in on the deal too. When we're talking about VeChain, and of course Zeal, Singapore and everything. It's just, man, y'all, like brother Daniel said, do your own research.
For sure.
The blockchain.
People who live in the United States, just a reminder, like, crypto is global. You know what I'm saying? Like, SEC ain't stopping shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know, like, we're talking, this is a 24/7 market for everybody in all the countries forever, 24/7. You know, just because fucking Gary or whoever the fuck wants to say this or that, like, we're 300 million people. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing compared to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the world's focused on the United States, this happens and that, like, no. People need to see the bigger picture. People are too focused and narrow-minded on what's in front of their faces instead of looking at the bigger picture. And that's what we have to look at, the bigger picture here, for sure. For sure.
Thank you for saying that. We've been preaching this from point A to point B from 3 years ago when the show started to now. We've been preaching, man, this is a bigger picture than everybody thinks it is.
For real. If anything, as soon as somebody says something like the SEC and the stock goes down, buy as much as you can of it because shit's gonna go right back up. That's it.
And that's not financial advice, but I concur heavily.
That is not financial advice.
I concur.
NFA.
So I like to almost end our interviews just like this. You have a question for us? Usually we let our guests ask us a question, whether it be whatever you want to ask us.
So okay, I have a couple questions. So first, how did you guys meet?
So I'm family with both of these guys. So LJ is my wife's cousin, and Mario's my cousin through my father's side.
Nice. So it's blood. That's what's up. Nice. And so when did you guys get into crypto? Like, what was the, like, I guess the time, the year, and like what was the event, or what like really clicked with you that you were like, like the light bulb like went off? I don't know if it's all the same, but we get to go on.
First,
I'll go ahead.
I'm gonna do like I always do. My first thing is I'm gonna point to him. So here's the deal. When I first started getting into investments in different things, it was around when my daughter was getting ready to be born, and I was just like, I just want to do something different. I want to elevate life. I'm tired of doing the same old things, so I need to seriously like look at investments. Let's start small. Let's look at Robinhood and get into some stocks. Did pretty okay. I feel like I just lucked out, but he was just like, hey, no, you clearly got an eye for something. Whether you know how to read the charts appropriately or not, you really have an eye for something. But I want you to understand, those stocks are very, very dangerous and fickle right now. Then I'm like, dangerous and fickle? Well, what do you mean dangerous and fickle? And he's just like, man, listen, the world's changing completely. Everything is going to be centered around blockchain. So what you need to be looking at is understanding blockchain investments, but more specifically understanding how to get into these cryptos that have blockchain projects that allow you to understand what is going to happen in the world. So our first, as a collective, as well as the other individuals on the P2G networks, we dealt with a organization, which I'm not going to, throw the name out there, but
please don't.
They didn't do appropriate business. They were basically advertising that we were basically buying coins that were backed by real gold, which at the time I was just like, well, if I'm going to invest in a cryptocurrency, could care less about anything dealing with, any type of digital. I get Bitcoin, but they're saying backed by gold. And I mean, if we really want to have a conversation about money, gold and silver are the real money right now. This paper that you hold in your hand is not exactly what it's
not anymore.
But so we invested in that. Come to find out, the project wasn't any good. So of course we shifted our focus and said, okay, we got to do this the right way. You can't cheat the system. You can't jump around like, oh, I missed the Bitcoin train, let me find the next big thing, which at the time we thought you couldn't. You technically can. It's just you shouldn't be looking to, oh, I'm going to invest $50 and be a millionaire in a couple months. That's just not, it's not realistic. So what we started doing is understanding the actual approach when it came to Ethereum. Around the time it was late 2019, early 2020, when the pandemic began to kick off, and we were looking at like a $200 Ethereum, $150 Ethereum, and it was just kind of juggling in that area. We played around I shouldn't even say played around, because we did some nice work with it, but there's other people who did amazing work. There was a thing called Forsage. And so basically what you basically would do, get people, it was basically like an onboarding for crypto. But of course, a lot of people were like, well, it's MLM. No, not necessarily. What you basically did was bring people in. They got their wallet set up. Once they brought in, it's basically a web of three. You get your three, you cycle on, you go to the next level, so on and so forth. And it kept recycling, it kept recurring. And of course, it builds a pyramid out is what most people like to say. But ideally, like we explained to people, what you do is you bring people in, but you bring them in based off of education. The point isn't to bring them in and just leave them high and dry. The point is to bring them in and bring more people in, because this is a system for onboarding on cryptocurrency. The idea is to get as many people in as possible so that you guys can get the appropriate information, so that we're not just building the Forsage ecosystem, we're building the crypto ecosystem as a whole. And so, of course, just kind of being around for that whole entire Ethereum process, seeing that. Of course, we've seen people who, in a couple months' time, I mean, they made anywhere from 50 to 100 Ethereum. And like I said, that's when the Ethereum was like 150, 200 bucks. And then we look up and we got a $3,000 Ethereum, and these folks have disappeared off the face of the earth. So it's just, that's how life goes. And I mean, you know, it's just dealing with crypto and understanding, like we tell people all the time, our first experience wasn't necessarily the get rich quick. It's always been the, hey, how do we invest? What does the payouts look like? Okay, don't worry about payout. Worry about understanding how to operate on the blockchain, maneuver these things. Okay, now it starts to make sense. So, of course, I think one of the biggest things is understanding how to be in appropriate positions to receive airdrops. So when we receive things like the Uniswap airdrop when it first launched, I mean, that was a big thing for us, of course, but we were fresh into the crypto space. So, of course, you know, everybody's first instinct is, when you make a nice little grip of money, you take it out and you spend it. And of course, that's what happens. And most people are like, well, you got this, didn't you? I didn't wait till Uniswap hit $30.
No, me neither. It popped up and I was like,
what was it, $5?
Let's go.
Like, let's go ahead and pull this out. But looking up, I'm just like, I pulled at 5 and it went to 30. Goodness gracious. But of course,
and it hit 49.
It's literally just, it's just, like I said, it's literally just timing, it's position, it's learning, it's updating yourself and constantly growing. And I mean, you know, that's just been the beautiful thing about this. But I mean, you know, I love that man. I love him so much. But at the same time, it's just like, I love to be challenged. And at the end of the day, he didn't just challenge me. He basically took me and said, no. This isn't a, hey, we're going to go on the roller coaster and we're going to safely get off the roller coaster. No. We're about to jump off this cliff. And yeah, I know it's like a big old black pit down there and you don't know what's down there. No, we don't have a parachute. We're about to jump. Okay, you ready? Push. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And it's just like, wait, I'm not ready. But like I tell people all the time, there is no perfect time to integrate and get into this. I'm glad he pushed me off the edge, because at the end of the day, had I not been pushed off the edge, I'd be like a lot of people who are technically getting pushed off by force, but they're grabbing and hanging on to that ledge with dear life. Like, no, I don't want to. And it's not folks like us who are trying to educate people that's pushing them off. It's the system who's adapting to exactly what we're trying to educate about. And they're trying to force their way from, oh, well, you guys said it was bad. Well, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And then we're going to push you off the edge and be like, no, it's okay. We got a safety net down there. What we told you was bad is what we were going to. It's okay. We just didn't want you to get scared. Like, come on, guys. So it's the nature of the beast, as we like to say, but it's all been a process. So HD, man, go ahead, man. Is Bitcoin the next big money? Go ahead, HD.
Oh, so 2009, man, I was in my dorm room. I saw this article says Bitcoin the next new money. Basically, you can send $100 through Western transaction, peer-to-peer transaction back then. I was like, man, this is a scam. I'm not going to invest $100. I'm a poor college kid. I only get like $1,000 for a refund. So if I take $100, it'll leave me with $900. So then I'm like, I gotta last off this for 6 months. So I wish I would have listened to myself and jumped off then. If I would have did that, we had a whole different conversation right now.
I wouldn't even be here, right? Y'all be like on CNN or some shit. Or whatever news channel is popping, yeah.
But you have any last question for us? I know we gotta get to the top 10, and I know Ruby gonna kill us.
Oh no, Daniel, he was saying, do you have any more questions for us?
Oh yeah, so then crypto, and then I guess the rap side. Like, so you guys got into music, like, you know, I know we're getting close to time, but like as far as like a quick rundown, like how'd you all get into music on the rap side and rap and crypto, but with the rap side, how'd you?
What I'll do is this, and I always love enjoying explaining this. So myself and HD both, in terms of the music side, we're not necessarily music artists. What we basically did for the approach for rapping crypto, and it was interesting, when Tory Lanez did what he did with those NFTs, me and him were kicking and screaming like, this is what we've been talking about for 2 years. And y'all are literally, because this man just said, oh, I sold it for $1. I changed the game. It's like, yo, we've been talking about this for but I think that was the first time when I realized it's not about exactly being right about what's to come. It's literally that was a confirmation. Hey, you've been in the right spot. You've been saying the right things. You've been educating people on the right things. So the biggest thing is we have to continue doing that. So when when it just comes down to it, it's been a beautiful process. HD, you want to jump in?
All right, so basically how Rap Crypto came about, I love how artists you can contest this, how artists first come in and they have that hunger, and how some of the record labels want to change them, and because they sign so many 360 deals, and when they get to the NFT side, well, the collectible side, as we discovered tonight, so so when they get to the collectible side, they don't have to sign these 360 deals like that and make these large amount of money because of the collectibles. And I was like, man, if I could educate a small artist before they can get to the major labels, and they can offer a better deal to them.
Indeed. And then also, just kind of reiterating on the rap side, like I always like to tell people, the word rap is associated with the actual artistry of rap music. But I mean, when we say rap, we could talk about having conversations. So I could be rapping with you by having a conversation. So rap really is a play on words.
Poetry, baby.
Yeah. So it's really a play on words in the end, because like I said, I myself don't do music, but I enjoy music very much. I have a passion and a love for listening to music, but also, like Brother HD said, we also had a passion for it. Man, we really want to educate people for them to understand how collectibles are going to actually change the game for them, how understanding what smart contracts are and operating off the blockchain and accepting cryptocurrency payments for some of your merchandise or some of your music is going to be able to change you and elevate you and put you in a different position. And it'll allow you to, a lot of people will say, oh, well, independent artists, it's hard for them to do certain things. Well, listen, as an independent artist, the blockchain gives you a very, 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 very good starting point to getting your feet wet and actually being able to branch out there and do something different. Set an establishment for yourself that'll allow you to actually build and grow and continue to develop. And so by the time, let's just say a big label does approach you, you're really, really stable. And so what most people would need when the big label comes, you don't necessarily have to take from them. So, I mean, when we understand how advances work and we understand how a lot of the different things happen where they're just like, oh, well, we're going to take this out of what you're supposed to be getting paid. So by the time you're looking at your check, it's completely dwindled down. You can avoid a lot of those different things just by integrating and operating in the blockchain space. So we really just wanted to educate and put it out there. And so, of course, the rap and crypto part is just kind of like, it's catchy because, most people are going to think like, oh, rap music, artists and, different things like that. But it's also, we bring entrepreneurs on the show. We bring different people on for businesses. I mean, we've had so many different types of interviews on the show. The point is to educate. And if people don't know who come on the show about blockchain, we take the opportunity to educate them and allow them to ask questions to us live on the show, because we feel like it's an education opportunity for everybody at that point, because they may ask a question that somebody may not know, and they might ask us a question we don't know the answer to, and it's like, hey, time to do some research. So we love it. What'd you say, HD?
All right, so I'm sorry to cut you short, bro, and sorry to cut this interview short. I know we got our top 10. Ms. Ruby's screaming like, you guys hurry up.
Yeah.
What's his top 10? What you got?
So basically what we do a quick rundown every week. Just kind of throw out 10 either.
What kind of cards you looking at?
And it's basically just an idea of some of the things we've been looking at for the week. Of course, it's not financial advice. I mean, we don't necessarily tell people to buy these things. It's just kind of one of those things where, hey, these are some of our major players in terms of what we're looking at. These are some of the things that we would encourage you to, go do some research on and actually understand and do a deep dive of what these projects are actually doing. So, I mean, of course, like we said, it's not financial advice. It's based completely and solely off opinion. But It's what we consider our top 10, and this is what we do every week as a gift to the folks, especially for those people who might not know how to research. Hey, I need a quick bone. And like we tell people, if you hear the same token or coin week to week, it should be an indication that it's extremely important, and it's something you should not only just keep researching, but you need to keep your eye on at all times.
For sure.
All right, number 10.
Go ahead, bro.
Go Mario, number 10.
Number 10, rest in peace to the CEO and maker of Maker.io.
Okay.
Got Maker for number 10.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, LJ.
I mean, so look, I am not, this is actually the first time I'll do this. I am not familiar with the information on this project, but a great gentleman, came along and gave me some wisdom and told me to check this out. So coming in at number 9 is LTO. Gotta throw LTO in there, man.
Damn, number 9. Oh man, I was looking like number 4 or 3 or something like that.
Hey, fair enough. So y'all just know when we say number 4, just switch it with number 9, please. That'll work. All right. So HD, what we got for number 8, bro?
Metal blockchain, bro.
Oh man, you gonna tear metal up, huh?
Metal block.
Metal
block.
Metal
blockchain. Metal blockchain.
They're working with the Fed now. They're gonna turn your cash into a DeFi protocol.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
man. All right.
It's getting real.
7,
It's getting real out here. I got for number 7, I got XDC.
XDC.
That
Okay.
is XDC network.
Number 6, I'm gonna keep it simple. Y'all heard this last 2-3 weeks, but we're gonna bring PondX back for number 6 again.
Hey, fantastic. All right, my next one is Flare, man. I'm gonna go with Flare.
Boy, you've been tearing up their staking programs, huh?
Man,
Oh man,
Oracle SRP, bro.
fair enough. You know what? I wouldn't do it any justice, brother Daniel. Do you have another coin or token that you wanted to throw into the top 10 this week?
Honestly, those 4 are only the ones that I'm really involved in. Another one might be World, WRLD.
Okay.
That's like a Roblox decentralized metaverse.
Okay.
But Roblox is a giant, beast. So we're talking about gaming mixed with blockchain. I think World is, WRLD is another big one for sure.
Dope. I'm definitely
I'll
going
be checking that out.
Look, there's 2 of them. See?
Let's go.
I love it. Gotta learn something new every day.
Let's go.
Get your pen and paper out, man. It's Rapping Crypto, man. Y'all already know what time it is.
So Mario, number 3, bro. What we got?
Number 3, let's give it up for OVR.
Okay. That's coming back in again on the top 10. Y'all might want to check out these metaverse spaces. Oh man. Number 2, you know what? I don't care. XRP. Number 2, we got XRP, man. I'm not going to even act like I don't want to put it in the top 10. XRP, number 2. HD, what we got for number 1 this week, bro?
Shout out to the Master Manifestation. We're going to go with Tree DeFi.
Okay, bet. I'll rock with the Tree DeFi for sure.
I thought he was going to say Shiba.
Hey, shout out Shiba community. Before we end up, I'm going to have to throw a little commercial in. Hey, man, make sure you guys tap in with Walton Knows Money for the morning come up on Mondays and Fridays now. They also have lottery tickets. So basically, it's going to be on the Algorand blockchain. You can buy 25 tickets, going to be printed. It's going to be, and there's more details. Hit up Walton Knows Money. And also the Sunday newspaper. Make sure you guys tap in with Bankroll Rough Builders. Bankroll.
Real quick, got to jump in there. Hey, man, big shouts out to the Rap Token family. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all go check out raptoken.xyz. Check them out on not only their website, but also go check them out on OpenSea. Make sure you get you a Founders NFT, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure he cool with it. So on an exclusive basis, and ain't to the public, but y'all gonna start seeing it on some of the promos. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our first PFP of the custom Rapping Crypto Rap Head. Y'all, I'm excited, man.
Let's go. I'm telling you.
I gotta get me a rap head.
For it, but we're gonna see. And also another quick shout out again to Sister JoJo. the master of manifestation, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all go check out her programs. If you don't understand carbon offset and CO2 offsets and understanding how it's integrated dealing with the blockchain and a lot of the different things that are coming in terms of what's going on with the environment, again, the blockchain just doesn't touch your food, your medical records. It's going to touch nature. It's going to touch everything around you, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared, be wise, be mindful, and just go ahead and get yourself educated and armed with as much information as possible, because that's the only way.
Carbon credits.
Yes, sir. Got to credits. And go get y'all a tree card, man. Plant y'all some trees.
And the last one, man. Make sure you guys go download Booming, man. Because hey, man, we're gonna get on there soon, Daniel, man. We gotta talk after the show because you know we get our stuff going. So
hey, we're gonna put this entire podcast on Booming. And we're gonna think of something. If somebody booms this, or if everybody booms this, they're gonna get something out of it. I'm just gonna say that right now. We don't know what it's gonna be or how it's gonna happen, but 100% y'all can boom this for sure.
Say less. Say less. Say less.
All right, man. This is Rapper Crypto. I'm your main man, Hutch D, aka HutchD.blockchain. My brother LJ, brother Mario, True Nation, and we have DRAYDEL in the building, ladies and gentlemen, man. Make sure y'all tune in next week, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We got another special guest, man. It's only gonna get better in July because we got a whole great lineup. Let's go.
Nice. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Peace.
Bag on the beat going crack.